Hello everyone, thanks a lot for joining me today. This is going to be my March favorites. If I were a magazine, this would be the editor's picks of the month. I have some great things to share with you today. There are some things you've seen me talk about in other videos that might be the top picks. There are some things that you haven't really heard me talk about at all. And one of those things, guys, I've got to mention these leggings. Okay, I found them in the pajamas section of Target, and they have got to be the most comfortable, like, sleepy time leggings. Well, here's what I've realized about myself, really. Like, during this whole quarantine situation, I have like a daytime legging and a nighttime legging. This is a sleepy time legging, okay? So they're very comfortable, and they appear to be a legging in shape, but actually, like, you wear them a little bit and they loosen up somewhat, and they're like a looser legging. I don't know how to explain it, but they're the perfect kind of PJ type thing. Normally to bed, I'd be one who's wanting to just wear kind of a sleep shirt type deal, but I do find myself getting up in the night sometimes to feed baby Rhett, and so I like to have something on my legs, you know? It can get a little bit chilly, so I like to have something, and these are so nice. I need to get more pairs so I can, you know, get one in the wash, keep them in a rotation kind of deal. They also come up really high, but they're not binding at all. I like the more binding, like, suck them in leggings. I like those kinds of things more throughout the day. Does anybody else know what I'm talking about? These are the leggings. You can find them in with the loungewear, the PJs in at Target. I will most definitely link to them below. I will find them for you. They're so great. Here's another thing that's a little bit off the beaten makeup path, but it's makeup related for sure. It's the e.l.f. Solid Sponge Cleanser. This is just a little container, and this is what it looks like. Granted, I've used it some and it's worn down a bit. Original size is a little bit larger than this, but this cleans the sponges so well. I've actually been using this on all my brushes because I can't find my little Sig Magic. It's a little gizmo that has scrubbies kind of embedded in the brush cleaner, and you can wipe across it and it just really effectively gets the brushes clean. I do love that, but this is definitely going to be cheaper, and if you're cool with just like holding it in your hand, you kind of get your brush damp, wipe it on this a little bit, and then rinse, and it rinses really clean, and I feel like it's gotten some dirty brushes just extremely clean, so I would have to recommend that to you guys. You know, these days we're trying to be clean, we got to keep the brushes clean too. If you did not see my video on the drugstore alternatives to the pricey skin prep steps, I would almost say pause this, go back, watch that, because that had a ton of, I think, useful information in it, but this was one of the stars, okay? This product here from L'Oreal, it's the Age Perfect Hydra Nutrition Day Cream. You can get it on Ulta's website. I wish it seemed to be more readily available everywhere, but just by looking at it, do you know what this dupes? This is a dupe for the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. So many of us love that product. I promise I didn't just pick this because it has the same kind of buttery yellow color, but it's a great rich cream to throw on before your makeup, and it kind of plumps the skin up. You will have a radiance after you apply this, and no, there's no color to it, no shimmer to it. You'll just have a radiance by way of the moisture. Now, this is geared toward very dry skin. I wouldn't even put my skin in that category, but it works for me. It's even a little thicker in texture than Vitamin Enriched Face Base from Bobbi Brown, but the way it leaves my skin feeling after I've blended it in is pretty darn similar. You know, it's very rich, very hydrated, gives you that kind of glowing from within skin. So I gotta give this product credit. It works really well. Also, in terms of skin prep, I've been loving this primer so much. It's the Smoothing Primer Balm from Hard Candy. Actually, I noticed when I went on Walmart's website and I was looking up a link, they've got a picture of it looking like mine, but then they called it something else. Something like Soft Canvas or words to that effect. I don't know if they're trying to dupe Tatcha even more obviously, but this is definitely a lot like Tatcha. It's the most like Tatcha's Silk Canvas that I've tried, and it's really pleasant to put on because it's so creamy. It's much creamier, it feels like, than the e.l.f. Poreless Putty. I explained this more in the skin prep video, but I felt like that was kind of pulling across the skin. This blends in really nicely. I feel like there's a little more moisture to it, but it really does a great job on the pores. Pores around the nose, sides of the nose, that would be my problem area. Also, little fine lines in the forehead. You hit it with this, and then your foundation goes on, and you can tell a difference. You can actually tell a difference immediately after you apply this. So that is a primer favorite. Oh, I need to talk about Cheek Stars, the reunion tour. this palette. Can you get enough of this palette? I think it's so cute. And it's full of full-sized cheek products from Benefit. Some of them things that they are not even producing in full-size singles, although maybe for this limited time right now they might be. I'm not sure what the whole range of this release was, but I saw this palette and needed to get it. And I love that Hula's in here, so you got your bronzer. You've also got 3 great blushes. Yes, Dallas, if you're not familiar with Dallas, it is the dustiest of dusty, kind of plummy rose sort of shades. Like, it's a pretty neutral blush, but it gives you a little bit of something extra that's really hard to put your finger on, but it's great. Georgia, I'm wearing Georgia, Hula, and a little bit of Dallas as my cheek look right now. Also, of course, the Cookie Highlight, which we did find a dupe for. If all you want is Cookie and you want to save some money, check out my dupes video because I got a really good one for you there. But Sugar Bomb as well. This is going to be your kind of color punch of the whole palette. It gives you more rosiness to the cheeks. You can make a whole eye look out of this, which I've done before. You get a little brush that I would even incorporate in an easy eye look here. If you want to just take Hula, stick it to the crease. I mean, this is not an unusable brush. But I've really been enjoying this palette, and I like how they revived some certain products. I think Benefit is a brand that gets that you can put out certain things, they become very iconic favorites, and you don't need to release like 1,000 blush shades. You know, you release some that are going to be really, really loved over the years. And I think The Balm is a brand that reminds me of that too. You know, certain things they put out, like they give it a real identity. People fall in love with it. They don't over-release in terms of their individual blushes and face shades and stuff. So this has a nice big mirror if you're, well, you're not traveling right now, are you? You're not getting out and about, but it's got a mirror for when you do. And then a little sheet here. If I can shimmy it out, it will point out some different ways you can use the stuff. There's a different look on each side. But I dig this palette big time. This has by far been my favorite face palette compilation of stuff that Benefit has put out, and the look is so cute. I've said it before, but I think that might be my mom's high school yearbook picture right there. She actually can play the guitar, fun fact, but the steel guitar, not the regular guitar. Well, as you're finishing off your face look, you'll probably want some kind of setting spray, and I have been super impressed by this one from Neutrogena. It is the Radiant Setting Spray Healthy Skin. It's the one that just floats out the word peptides right here. Still don't really understand that. I mean, we can all gather that there are peptides involved, but I think it's just funny that the word is just there. But I love finishing the look with this. This is a really nice mist. It has kind of a fresh scent, but really, really light. Kind of hard to identify, and I feel like it gives you an instant dewiness to the skin. I love it so much. I always talk about the sprayers too. It's got a good sprayer, gives a very full spray. You might find you need fewer mists with this than with other kinds of setting mists because it really has a range, but I love that. Also, I should mention, I'm not talking about foundations in this video because I feel like a foundation video on the type of foundation I'm loving is probably coming really soon, but I will say this, I am wearing my Estee Lauder Futurist today. Do love this. Great, like natural looking skin type of foundation, but yet it does have coverage. Don't let it trick you. Let's talk about a couple of great, really basic eye products here. Both are from the drugstore. The first one, Wet n Wild Silent Treatment. Throwing it back. I mean, they have given this a makeover. It used to be a trio, right? They threw in an extra shade. You've got a matte transition shade that is so, so perfect. It might have a hint of rose. I call it like a matte taupey rose, okay? And then you got this taupe over here along the side that's a little more grayish charcoal, little hint of silver thrown in. A really strong brow bone or lid shade. It's got a hint of pearliness but not super metallic. And then this dark shade right here, which I will actually use as a little bit of a liner. If I don't want to take the time to do full on like liquid liner or pencil liner, I'll just get a liner brush and just take that kind of basically along the outer part of the upper lash line. That's what I did today. So I've got this in the crease, this on the lid. I blended a little bit of this into the crease as well, even though it has some shimmer, the shade labeled eyelid. I can enjoy that in the crease too. And then this on the outer part of the lid and really concentrated in along the lash line. They're nicely pigmented colors, you guys. I mean, I really think that for all y'all who are crying for a cool tone palette and maybe you don't want to mess with an entire palette, just want a quad, this is so, so good. And then to finish off that look, I've really been falling in love with this CoverGirl Exhibitionist mascara. This is not to say I didn't love it right when I got it, but it ages well, okay? Like, it has gotten even better with time in a big way for me. I feel like it gives you a great thickness and length on the lashes. It builds on itself well. It doesn't build as fast as Superhero, but that being said, it also doesn't dry out as fast as Superhero, so it kind of, I don't know, it's aging really nicely, and it has that hourglass brush that every brand's trying to make, an hourglass shaped brush mascara. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. This isn't even probably my most favorite shape for a mascara wand. I kind of prefer a little bit more of a taper toward the tip, but it's still fine for me. I still think it's doing a great job. I don't feel like it flakes off on me during the day. I only wear it on the upper lashes. Today I really did nothing on the lower lashes, only this on the uppers, and I feel like it gives the most like lifted, wide awake look. So a lot of you guys probably already know about this, already love this. To me, it's a somewhat recent discovery, but I first opened it, used it, let some time pass, and now I really, really love it. By the way, if you see some rogue straps, this is just a nursing tank top. It's a gray one, and I really like it. It's very comfy. Motherhood maternity for the nursing tanks. I mean, they have lasted me for years. There are a couple of these that I have had since Belle was a baby, and they're still, like, the straps are still great, still enough elasticity in them everywhere. They're so nice. What next? I think we're down to 2 more products left here, just making sure. My area is a bit of a mess. I need to do some cleanup, hopefully this weekend. Talked about the leggings, talked about the brush cleaner. Okay, 2 lip products here. One thing that absolutely cannot get past your lip color radar. This is a super innovative product, perhaps one of the most fascinating lip products I have seen in a long time, and it's from Urban Decay. It's from their Vice line, and this is the shade called Wire, and it's called Wired Vice Lip Chemistry. And this is an incredible product. If you like a glossy finish, but you stay away from wearing a lot of glossy finishes because it usually doesn't also result in long wear, here you have glossy long wear that does not transfer off. It's fascinating, y'all. I was talking about this in a recent video, how I'd used it, and yes, you can tell this is red. This is shiny red lip color. That sits on your lips for a little bit, and let me tell you, it will not transfer off red on your coffee cup. It's like, what? What's going on here? Something magic, something I don't know about, but it still maintains kind of a shiny look on the lips. Like, this is super exciting. This is a really pretty red. I feel like I just swatched it there and it's looking a little warm on my camera screen, but it's more of a super pure, not too warm, not too cool, but kind of right down the middle red, I would say. It is kind of a staining product. It's light in texture, but it gives this nice glossiness, and then oddly enough, you know, you're gonna wear that, and if you tap on your lips and you try to pull some color away, you will get maybe the teeniest hint of color, but you see like clear shine. It's weird, because here at this stage of the game, we can definitely tell that that's still just full-on red, right? But it goes through a little bit of a process, I guess, on your lips, and then it does not rub off with glossy, goopy color, so that's gonna stay in place, and like here, I'm rubbing away already. There's an example of the stain left behind. I don't know what they're doing over there at Urban Decay, but I need some more of that. Next thing, the thing that I've been wearing throughout this video is this product from Milani. It's the Ludicrous Lip Gloss, which is a whole line of lip gloss I feel like I need to dig into a lot further, but this is the shade called Fanny Pack, and I don't know, it's got a little bit of sheerness to it, actually. I like the applicator. It's a teardrop shaped doe foot. Let me add a little more here. I love the color though. I mean, don't you kind of like this sort of watermelon-y type of shade? It looks in a way sort of effortless because it does have some sheerness, but there's a little punch to it, you know? I like that so much, and it makes your lips look virtually lineless. It's got a thickness to it. Some people might not like that. It's not sticky to me, but it is kind of thick. In my opinion, glosses do need to be a certain amount thick to hang on to the lips, okay? Because you don't want them just wearing away in an instant. A pet peeve of mine would be the oily glosses that are just way too thin and just going every which way outside the lip line. This really, I feel, stays to the lip line. It stays where you put it. Not gonna wear like all day long on you, but it's gonna be a longer wearing lip gloss because of its thickness. And again, the shade called Fanny Pack, I don't know what it is about that, but that just feels so fresh to me and kind of like, I'm not trying too hard, but the lips are looking good. Those of you who are getting on your conference calls and your Skype calls and you're Zooming with your colleagues or your classmates or whatever, and you just want to throw something on that looks beautiful, but like you're not trying too hard, or if you want to try really hard, you might put that on. And it has been suggested that I do a video about kind of a look that might be really easy to throw on for these situations because there's so much like video conferencing going on these days. Let me know if you'd really like to see that. I've seen a few other people do it and I don't want to seem like I'm copying the idea, but I do think that would be really fun. So thank you guys so very much for watching. I hope you're well. I am praying for my audience out there every single day. Always interested to see in the comments section, what is the situation like where you live as far as this virus is concerned? How are you dealing? What's the situation like at home? Let us know. And thank you so much for spending some time here today. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye.